These are 10 tips to help you draft Commander Masters like a pro.
I'm Mia, and I love Shadow the Hedgehog.
I'm BZ, and I love 60-card Commander drafts. And if you would like to support the Nitpicking Nerds, we have a Patreon. You can go there and donate directly to the channel, help spruce everything up. There's going to be some huge upgrades coming in the near future later this year. You want to be a part of that? Get it on the ground floor. Come support us. We'll give you some exclusive content that you can't see anywhere else.
We're also supported by Cool Stuff Inc. If you use the code
Nerds
at checkout, you can save 5% on your entire order. We love saving you money.
That just feels like cheating. That's like an infinite money glitch or something. You better get on that. Dragon Shield 2, they have the best sleeves in the multiverse.
Good sleeves.
And we're always buying shields. You can go to the EU or the US link. We call them shields for short. You know that.
Of course.
Go buy some shields, and then you will be supporting yourself and the channel at the same time.
Also, we're sponsored by Moxfield.com, the best deck building website. You can guess where the ad is in here because there's going to be one. Mm-hmm. But if you guess and you say you were right, you lied. We hate liars.
Yes, it's a shorter video, so there'll be a shorter Moxfield ad. If you blink, don't blink, you'll miss it. And happy birthday to everyone whose birthday is today. So Commander Masters is a draftable Commander experience. It's going to be very, very fun, but there's a lot of things you need to know, especially if you're drafting. You're normally used to the 40-card standard draft sets. So we're going to go over some basic rules of the draft first to get you acclimated, and then we'll give you some tips on how to actually defeat your competition. So first of all, there are 20-card packs. Every pack you open has 20 cards in it, and you're taking 2 cards every time you draft. So you're only going to be drafting 10 times from a booster. You're going to get passed, and when things wheel back to you, there's only going to be 4 cards left in the pack.
Another rule is that you make 60-card decks instead of the usual 40, and those decks have to adhere to your commander's color identity.
Right, which is interesting because monocolored legends in this set have partner. You can have 2 commanders if one of them is mono red and the other one is mono green. There's not going to be any confusing ones like, Ishkana gave some trouble. They're all going to be straight up monocolor, very obvious. So these are going to let you play 2-color decks very easily and make some really weird pairings. But that's going to have some other side effects we'll get to.
If you don't pick a commander and you already drafted a deck in certain colors, you have to go with the Prismatic Piper. It'll be auto-given to you if you don't have a commander that meets your color requirements.
Yeah, just so everybody can play. If you messed up on a rule or just got unlucky somehow, or you switched colors in the last pack, Prismatic Piper, or as we call him, Poopy Piper, is there for you. And finally, this is not a singleton format. You can draft as many copies of cards as you want, put them all in your deck, and that's totally fine.
Yeah, if you get 5 command towers, play 5 command towers if you want.
I would want to. That's perfect. All right, so the first little tip here is the number of lands you should play in your deck. We have 60 cards. Let's assume 58 in our main deck, 2 commanders. I think what I would recommend for a land count, because we have a commander cube, and I've played it, it's the same exact rules as all of this stuff, even down to the partner rule. So I would say that in that format, we play about 22 lands. I think you could go up to 24 or 25 in this format. People like to say 27 or 28. That's conservative, and you do have 2 free cards in your command zone. You're going to have a 9-card opening hand, basically. But it just feels like, to avoid flooding, I don't think it's necessary to have 20,000 lands. I think 24, or if you're really worried, 25 will do you just fine.
There's also mana rocks in here and mana dorks, so it really depends on your spread and also the mana values that you happen to have in your deck. But I'd say 22 to 25 is about right if you want to get super conservative.
Yeah, so we've had friends who play 20 and not get punished. I don't know if I necessarily advocate that, but that's happened.
I get punished.
Yeah.
So.
Number 2, take legends highly, especially 3-color commanders. There's going to be some 3-color commanders going around that are going to be really powerful. And I think you generally are going to start the draft by figuring out who your commander is or who one of your best cards is going to be by picking legends.
Yeah, you don't want to be stuck building a deck and then later realizing, oh, I don't have a commander and get stuck with 2 Poopy Pipers. That'd be awful. BZ always jokes the fact that I always pick a 3-color legend just in case and calls it the 3-color ripcord strategy because it's just in case you don't have enough playables, you happen to have that 3rd color to get them in.
Yeah, exactly. So Maelstrom Wanderer is a rare in this set. Queen Marchesa is a rare. Zakama is a rare. Be on the lookout for busted cards like that, and I would snap up any 3-color commander I can find. Get some fixing, good to go. Number 3, passing powerful cards is okay. There's going to be a lot of powerful cards in this set. If you're drafting just for the competition and you're just trying to see, hey, let's win a game night, I don't need the money, then you're going to be passing pretty strong cards. But what's interesting is passing these busted cards is fine. You don't want to have them rot in your sideboard, not in your main deck. But the people you are passing to on your left and your right are not going to be in your pod. So if Mia throws me a Craterhoof and I go, well, I'm not playing green. I don't need this card. but I don't want to play against it either. If you pass it, the person to your left is going to take it. And if there's 8 people in a pod, you play zigzag. So you're not playing with anyone next to you.
Yeah, I think that's a good thing to keep in mind because you don't have to hate draft, basically.
Yeah, hate drafting is not necessary and almost impossible.
Yeah, unlike other formats where that's such a big strat.
Yeah, so you don't have to hate draft. Don't worry about the people you're passing to. They're not in your pod. They're in a different pod.
Yeah, another rule is to don't blindly force a deck. If you see something that's open, go for it. But if you're just trying to, I want to play the 3-color Maelstrom Wonder deck and you don't have support for it, just pivot. You can. There's a support for lots of other things and you can try something new.
Yes, you don't need to go in saying, I'm going to play black-white tokens. That's generally not a recipe for success. It could be fun. The deck might be open. You might get lucky. You could maybe lean that way a little bit, take some conservative early picks that are colorless, and then go, there's one white-black commander. We'll see what happens. But I would not go in blindly forcing a deck. It could end up that you end up with something mediocre.
Yeah, absolutely. Another one is to know why you're drafting. There's a lot of ways that you can draft this set. Are you doing it for the money cards? Are you doing it to win the games? Are you doing it to try new strategies or have fun or just in general, just like maybe a mix of all of those? Just know why you're picking the cards that you're picking and keep that in mind as you go around the table.
Right, yeah. You don't want to mix and match, right? Like all of a sudden you want a money draft a $5 rare, but you really weren't there for the money. You just love the set and maybe your friend donated a box or something and you're drafting for free. It's like, just keep an eye on why you actually sat down. Number 6, colorless cards are good in the beginning to stay open. We're talking Arcane Signet, there's some Mana Rocks, Felwar Stone, Command Tower to a lesser extent, but even things that are bigger like Ulamog's Crusher and Pathrazer of Ulamog, these are like colorless cards that are going to make your deck every time, and they help you stall and delay the decision of what colors to be in until you have more information and more signals being passed to you.
Yeah, you can pick some colorless in the beginning, but if you do it too long, I think you're just going to falter in the end. But obviously, if you see like a Soul Ring, pick it up and snap that up immediately. That's going to be so powerful.
Yeah, but if you spend more than 4 picks in a row just taking colorless cards, you got to pick a lane eventually. Start dabbling, see what's open, and you'll be all right. Number 7, board wipes are super good. There are going to be some board wipes at uncommon. I think every color has a board wipe at uncommon and rare. So there's going to be a decent amount in the packs. Do not pass them. If you're playing the colors, I think you just have to take them.
This is a combat-based meta, so the board's going to get clogged for a bit. Those board wipes are going to come in handy. You're going to need them to push through damage and win somehow, or else you're going to be there forever.
That's how you get card advantage. That's how you swing the game in your favor. A deck that's pretty okay without board wipes versus a deck that's pretty okay with 2 board wipes, I'm taking that one, and it's not close. It's going to be way better.
It's going to make your deck so much better in the long run. Speaking of board stalls, focus on breaking board stalls, because everyone in this draft, because it's so high-powered, is going to have a good board. It's going to get clogged after a while. But if everyone's sitting there and doing nothing, you're just going to go turn after turn just doing nothing and go, I guess pass. You have so many creatures and I do too. That's why also the board wipes, come in handy.
Yeah, you want to break at the board stalls. Creatures that are unblockable, creatures with shadow, creatures that make you the monarch, creatures that deal damage over time. The lieutenant cycle is very, very good. You have to break board stalls or else you're just going to be sitting there with your great cards then doing nothing. And then someone's going to break the board stall, tap all your creatures, and you're going to die.
Yeah, in the end, you just got to make sure you chip in that damage somehow. You'll figure it out, though.
Yeah, if you see a card that doesn't look super proactive and doesn't look like it'll get you much card advantage, like a Jade Mage, I don't think you need to play it. Stick to things that are going to be pushing through damage. Flying is great. Tokens going wide, overruns, board wipes.
Yeah, thematic is sometimes good, but not always. Moving on, removal and card draw are musts, and ramp is less good than it seems. I know this might be a little bit weird, but there's always going to be that one creature that you can't attack through, or, you're trying to get to your big bomb in the end, and so you could ramp towards certain commanders, but if you don't have the pieces that you need in your hand, or you can't get rid of the piece that's stopping you from winning, then what does it matter?
Yeah, in a combat-based deck, in a combat-based meta, that this is, you need to be able to remove threats that are going to disrupt you or attack through you or run you the heck over. You have to be able to answer them. So packing every deck with at least 3 removal spells, you need them. If you don't have them, you're just stuck and you're at the mercy of the table. So you're really going to need removal. Card draw also is going to help keep you in the game, even if it's just looting, whatever. You need something to turn your late game garbage and lands into spells and actions so you can break the board stall. Ramp is a little bit less good. There's less ways to spend your mana effectively. You already have 2 commanders in the command zone. You're going to get your land drops over the course of the game. But in the late game, a lot of these Sky Shroud claims are just dead draws.
Yeah, in that late game, there's very few mana sinks, and I'd always rather have some sort of good removal spell in my hand than a mana sink in like the late game or something.
Yeah, you can take a few ramp spells. They're good. You need them. You just don't need like 12 ramp cards in your 60-card deck for sure. And the last one is be prepared for a longer game. Games are going to go hour plus, unless somebody gets lucky and slams some kind of win condition on turn 8. You're going to be there for a while. You're going to be there for the long haul.
This is a combat meta. We're not going to be comboing out. So if you want, you can build for the turn 6, 8, maybe even 10, depending on who you're playing against.
Yeah, you need to hunker down, keep your life total preserved. There's not a ton of ways to gain life in this set, and being low on life is close to being losing. It's closer to having someone just pick you off by spending a card and a half, tap 2 creatures, and then all of a sudden you're dead. You need to be ready to preserve your life total and make important decisions about who to eliminate and if you can afford to tap creatures or attack players. It's very interesting. I love this set. It was Commander Legends 1 was great. Commander Legends Baldur's Gate was amazing. We have our Commander Cube. You know what? I'll throw a link to that in the description. Go check it out on Cube Cobra if you're curious. But also check out the card image gallery to prep yourself for Commander Masters.
Absolutely. And also the chip-in damage with little creatures in the early game definitely matter in the long run. So highly recommend getting those evasive creatures.
Yes, and if you really, really, really want to get ready for Commander Masters Draft, you need to watch our full set review of commons and uncommons for the set. We grade every single one. It's probably the best resource on the entire planet for learning Commander Masters Draft. So you should go check it out. And remember that having 6 bad creatures in play is worse than attacking with 1 good creature.